Oh, I'm missing a piece. Hey, Gloria.
Yes.
I'm missing a piece. There's a little white short cord. Would you see if you can find it?
Okay.
It should be with all the stuff. All right. Well, we're live, Darla. We're live. We don't have microphones yet, but that's okay because I forgot. I'm missing the little piece that goes on the end of this, and Gloria went running to find it. But
Good morning.
But I think everyone can hear us to start with, and I want to say a huge welcome to Darla. And Darla, you've been here, is it 2 other times you've come in?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 other times? So you're all in for a real treat. Oh, Gloria, thank you. Can you stick it on that for me? Thank you. All right, we're going to have microphones now. Thanks, Gloria. I left a little piece in the office, so let me plug this in. I like to say light up, just really lighting up. She's got a blue light.
All right.
Hit your
Testing.
plus sign on that one if you would, Darla, to get you a little louder.
All right.
All right, we're good. Okay. A little delay, but we're back, and it's Friday.
Yay.
It's Friday, and it's a treat. If you guys remember, Darla is one of the most creative. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to explain your style, Darla. How would you?
I don't
explain
either.
it? You don't either.
Kind of clean and linear, but then sometimes I like to play with mixed media and get messy. So it depends on the mood.
Well, her layouts are like nothing I've seen. They are very. I don't know if chunky is the right word, but they're very layered.
Do you want to start with those?
Sure, we're going to start with those. First, I got to tell everybody who we are because
yes,
we are Memory Bound. Welcome everybody here on a Friday. And Ruby said she'd love to be here. She can't wait to see what you have for us today. Steve's here in Iowa City. Howdy, Steve. And Maggie says it's always Friday when you're retired. So welcome to Memory Bound, all of our friends that are watching this morning. I'm so happy you're here. And I'm happy that Darla's here. And you know what? Darla volunteered. Was that on a video? Or did you send us an email? I can't remember
well,
now.
it was the first Monday when Teresa was gone. And you were trying to fill the second Monday and trying to convince Katie to take. Everybody was asking Katie. Yeah. And so after the video, I sent an email just saying, hey, I have this project that if you still need someone to fill in, I could come up and do a video.
No,
and
that's so special.
Yeah.
I mean, how many customers do we have? Well, we probably have a few that would do that. But Darla, that was super special of you to volunteer like that when we're talking about how we're low on people. And we actually, I think we might have filled in the next 2 weeks, but I'll have to check our calendar.
Yeah. And somebody mentioned on one of the videos that they would like to see more layouts, and so I was bringing a different project to share, which we'll go over here in a little bit.
Amazing albums.
But I pulled a couple of my recent layouts. So this, I don't know if you can tell in the background, but I did use texture paste through a stencil and just kind of.
Oh, I didn't even notice that when I looked at them earlier.
Did that all over. And then really I just kind of, this was kind of a stash layout. So I found kind of a tone-on-tone type of background and then just pulled all of these different products that I had.
You must have a really big stash.
I do. I mean, it's scary.
Oh my gosh. That's
but I like to pull old with new.
It's really neat.
And just
there's
mix
her
it
cute
together.
Daughter.
Yep.
All right. So how do you organize your stash, Darla? Because that's a lot of stuff.
Oh, I have little bins that have, I have stickers and ephemera in, typically their original packaging or, little baggies. And then I have, a box of brads, and then I have a box of flowers and wood veneer.
This is a layout that you just want to look at because you don't see everything.
Yeah, so I had
Very
clear
cool.
stickers, little tiny ones.
Very nice. Oh my gosh, it's a good way to start the day. And just so I want to let you know that people even watch us on their travels because Donna is on her way to Florida to get away from the 2 feet of snow, and she's watching us.
Lucky her.
And somebody just said they spied Vicki Boutin. So
here we
go.
Here it is. I loved this collection, color study, and so I had a little bit of everything on it. And so I wanted to use a lot of the different papers, but some of them were kind of wild. So like this rainbow paper, you can see it peeking out and it gives a touch of color, but using it in smaller doses allowed me still to use it and have those pops of color, but kind of muted it with the more solid-ish type patterns.
Well, and this is an amazing blueprint, you might say, how you did it in quarters. I love that.
Yep.
You could do it with other themes and papers.
And I didn't even keep, like this one just kind of went straight across. I didn't keep within.
Yeah,
so they're each
over.
kind of like their own little scrapbook here, but then this one is more like a kind of a 2-page.
Yeah, it's neat. I like how it carries across. Makes it very interesting. And the Vicki Boutin Color Study is really a beautiful collection. And here's a few of the papers that we still have from it. And if you wanted the tablet, we can get the tablets, the 12 by 12 or the 6 by 8 if you wanted to.
And these were the 6 by 8.
Oh, that's great
patterns.
To know. Okay. So then they're a little bit smaller than the full pages.
Yep. Yeah. Although I also had the 12 by 12, and I think this was one of the cut-aparts.
The cut-aparts, yeah.
That came from there.
Janet did some projects with that,
yep.
And they were amazing.
And then here's another color study. Well, mostly color study. I think this paper might have been from one of her older collections, not color study, but I think this background paper might have been. And I know these all were, I think this was from a cut apart that I cut the banners off of the 3x4.
And you'll notice how she roughed up the edges. Mm-hmm. That's a really neat look.
I like the look. It's messy. You get
I
the
like
shavings
yes.
like all over.
It's messy. You have to have a vacuum or a mini vac. If you have a mini vac, you're good.
Exactly. I need to pick up one of those.
Now, Chris has a question. She wants to know on your smaller pictures, do you print them smaller, like on this page, or do you crop them?
I print them smaller.
Okay.
I like to use the Becky Higgins.
Oh, her app. Yes.
Picture app.
I think you showed us that one time, didn't you? Or
I
somebody
did.
did.
Yep,
yeah.
I did. And you can print them in. She has configurations that. I just print them on a 4x6 photo paper. Actually, I typically don't print at home. That I send it to Shutterfly or Walgreens or wherever. But it'll create a 4x6 picture, and you can either get 6 2x2s. There's a configuration with a 4x4 and 2 2x2s. There's 2x3s and 3x4s.
So do you do that on your phone or your computer?
I do it on my phone.
All right, because I loaded the app after you showed us.
Yeah.
So it's the Becky Higgins app, and I'm sure you can search for it and get all these fun sizes of pictures.
Yep, and I believe it's free now.
I think it is too, yes. Let's see, they asked for the site again. So Shutterfly is where Darla orders her photos, but it's the Becky Higgins.
Project Life.
Project Life, thank you.
It just came to me.
Well, it didn't come to me, and I thought, well, I can't really look.
There you go.
Okay, and Sharon's here before work, so we're glad she's able to come here.
So here's another layout, and this paper is actually the Vicki Boutin mixed media paper.
Sure, yeah.
It's just a plain pad of white cardstock, but it's actually thicker than a normal cardstock, so I didn't have to put any gesso or anything on this so the inks wouldn't go through. So I did and I've gone over this before, the packaging technique where just smush it you guys have gone it over to on cards and things like that. And so I just did some smooshing around the edge. I let that dry, and then I used a star stencil with Tim Holtz. I think this might have been like prize ribbon and
maybe mustard seed.
Mustard seed, and then I think this was seedless preserves. Maybe
could be.
And used the life-changing
fence
brushes.
Yep, I've been using those a lot lately.
Yep, and so just added that for another dimension. I sewed around the edge.
Well, what I love is the circle was actually a circle on the paper, and I love that you cut it apart like that.
And
it's more usable, I think.
This was actually from the 6x8 paper pad, and you only get like a portion of the circle. So I had these 3 whole circles. This one's a partial one, this one's a partial one, this one's a partial one, and then this little orange was just like a teeny tiny sliver. And so I just
you got it in there.
I did. I just
Darla.
kind of
Way
there was one little piece that I couldn't fit in there. But I kind of wanted to give it some varying sizes there.
I think it's amazing. People are loving this, and you're combining mixed media with your scrapbooking, and that's kind of a cool thing that a lot of people don't think about or haven't done.
And when I do a mat around my layouts like that, I gut the middle so I can use this part that's wasted.
There is your trick of the day. If you're matting like a full sheet, then cut out the middle of it. Why put all that thickness and stuff in your albums too, and then you've got the paper to use.
I think.
Did you do it on that one?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, this one's hard to tell.
It is
very busy.
The back
but you can kind of tell how she's left this inside, or cut out the inside so she could use it on other paper. Oh, that's cool. Cool.
So I think that's all the Vicky Booten. Here's the simple stories.
Oh.
And so I think, so I got that one too. And so, see, this is a Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
This was a Halloween paper, but I used it for the black dots on the other side. And this was from the 6x8 paper pad, and I just fussy cut around it. And I think the rest of it was more similar to this color. I did a cut file on my Cricut. And the rest, I really just added the puffy stickers.
The puffy stickers,
or the foam,
chipboard or foam stickers. Yeah, you're right.
And so all these, I think, were on the same sticker sheet.
And look at that little baby. That's so cute.
Baby James. He's 1 now.
He's reminds me, we had a baby born in November, this past November, and he had a little bit of an outfit kind of like that. That must be the thing.
Yep, it was.
All right, here's another one.
Another simple stories. I think this was last year's calendar.
Was this? It wasn't Best Day Ever, was it?
Maybe it was the one I did the calendar with.
Okay. And
so all of these were from the cutouts, the monthly. I just took the ones that worked.
Well, and Darla, those cutouts, those 3x4 cutouts, I never think about using them in a scrapbook layout unless it's a pocket page.
Yeah.
Here you go, everybody.
Yep. There's
the way to use your 3x4 cutouts.
And so some of the ones that I didn't think I would use based off of what was on the picture, I just did like an offset to give like a, I used the full card, but I didn't necessarily want to use what the word was underneath.
Right.
So then I just used it kind of like a wonky mat and just made sure I didn't show anything that...
I love wonky. Very cool. Very cool. People are loving this, Darla. I think we're all getting a lot of ideas.
So this is with your specialty papers that you order.
That's the Waukee High School, which is the local high school, and we have pretty much all the local high schools covered with paper.
And so I cut it in half, and then we went to, I have a niece that was a cheerleader, and so she got to cheer for the girls' team. This was just before the pandemic started. So it was March of 2020.
Oh, look at that,
and,
how that pulls out.
I liked the design, but I had one more picture I wanted to include, and I couldn't quite make it work. So I created a pocket behind there.
Clever.
And then I have my journaling on the back, which it's not very readable, and I just kind of threw it in there because I'm going around the WHS.
At least you have it. At least you have it.
I do.
A lot of people, they don't do the journaling, Darla, and you will forget things.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I like to do a lot of secret pockets and pull-outs and tags and things. And this is easier to read in person than it is on, I've tried to take a picture of it. It says the road to state, so
it does. You can see it better in person, but I think everybody can see it here.
Yeah.
Darla, seriously, I want you to know how excited people are to see Scrapbook. The thumbs up and the hearts, they're just continuous. So thank you so much.
This one.
Here we go.
I couldn't remember if I had showed this one or not. So I wanted to do something with a shaker pocket. So I made shaker pockets on each side and filled it with sequins. This took a while. So I used, the packaging that you get from, like your 12 by 12 paper packs.
Paper packs.
Yep. And so that's what I used here. I just made sure that I found a section that didn't have like the sticky on it or anything like that. And I just sewed it to.
Oh, so you sewed it on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So there's her stitching. She sewed them and then it looks like down here at the bottom, just kind of wrapped them around.
Yep, I had to fold it because it was a little bit longer than 12 by 12 because it has to be bigger to fit the paper in.
So Darla, did you fill it and then you stitched it? Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds tricky.
It was.
But you did it.
I did,
it's doable.
Yep, it was.
Well, and now you can do shakers in your scrapbooks.
You can.
I love all your layering here too. You guys, you can see that Darla's just so creative and has such great designs. There's her another little pocket.
We have a tradition that we started one year that we got home from church on Christmas Eve, and we were still up when it hit 12:01, and of course our daughter looked at us and said, well, technically it's Christmas. So we opened presents, and then I got to sleep in. And so that has been a new tradition that, we just do at Christmas Eve, and then my gift to myself is that I get to sleep in.
Then you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Exactly.
That's a great idea. I love how you have all of those tags kind of stacked up there, and you got your photos. And it looks like maybe some chipboard or puffy or foam stickers. Very cute, everybody. Remember that for the shaker.
Yep. And so then I missed this one during the Vicky Bouton, which this is a Vicky Bouton, the purple. I think this might be an old Simple Stories.
It looks like one of the backs
paper
of one of
from like a school line. And this was a cut file, the alphabet. And so I cut it out and then popped it up on foam. I don't know if you can see the dimension there. Of course, that took some time as well to fill in all these
foam.
little.
Oh yeah,
all those little places.
Very solid.
It is pretty solid, and then just kind of filled in with pictures and some old school stuff that I had.
Darla, this is what makes our videos so good for me. Is Vicky said she's going to add a shaker tag to a mini birthday album for her granddaughter.
Yep.
So she says thank you for the idea.
Very good.
So you're an influencer.
Oh.
We're influencers here at Memory Bound.
Excellent.
So that was a wonderful stack of layouts from Darla, and people are already asking you to come back, Darla.
Well, very good. I'm sure I could probably do that.
Tell us about your next, because this is a really big project.
This is a big project, and it's been 30 years in the making. When I was in high school, we had a foreign exchange student that started with another family, and then they couldn't continue to sponsor him. And so the school contacted us, and he ended up coming to stay with us the rest of the school year. And so as a thank you to me, they asked me to come visit them between my freshman and sophomore year of college. And so I was there for 5 weeks. Wow. And this album is basically documenting my time while I was there visiting. So...
And you didn't do it then, you just did it recently,
I
right?
didn't. It has been, I just did it this summer. And like I said, I have collected stuff for this album for so many years and changed my mind of papers and styles and everything. And I'm very glad that I waited until now, because I don't think I would have been, it just would have been a different style of book.
Yeah, well, I looked through it this morning, and it's amazing.
And I had so many things that, there's 2 volumes. So,
yes. And they're both very full.
They are very full. So this is the 49 and Market
what do they call
album.
That binder? It's the Foundation's Essential Binder. And we have those. They're $26.99, and it comes with, I can't remember what's inside of it, Darla. When you have a few variety of pages.
I do, yeah. And obviously I've added a lot more.
Yeah, you've added a couple more.
To it. So it does, the front page was one of the pages, and it's just like a chipboard, well, not even chipboard, more like a heavy cardstock type of paper.
And it's a 6x8 album, which is a really nice size, for sure. And so it comes with some of those kind of heavy cardstock pages.
Yep, and I'll point those out as I go along with. And I think it comes with
you know what? Let me pause right over here. Look at this. Tells us what it comes with right there. So you get the binder, 6 page protectors, the craft side flip pages, open craft flip flop enclosure, triple craft pocket pages, single craft pages. That must be your first one there.
Yeah.
And then your tabbed chipboard pages, a zippered pouch, and the antique brass hardware.
Yeah. Yep. So I used, for papers and product, I used the 49 and Market Wedgwood, which I don't think you can get anymore, but really this would work with any of the 49 and Market style papers. And then a lot of their basics with their layering. These are like the laser.
Their collage stacks and ephemera and the lasers that
come in with the paper packs. The rub-ons. I did use vintage photo ink on almost everything, just to kind of.
I think it kind of just pulls it together and ages it.
Yep, exactly.
Especially when you think of Germany, I think of kind of old and older buildings and things. So that's a really good look for it.
Yeah, and I wish I had brought like a few of my original pictures, because I really, these pictures are 30 years old, and I had to really edit them to get the colors to pop how I wanted them to. And so the original photos were a lot more faded.
So you spent a lot of time doing
I did.
This. Oh my gosh.
And so, and of course they weren't, they were just pictures, that they weren't,
Was that back in the film day?
It was back in the film day, and so I didn't have them digitized, and really all I did was I had a box and my phone, and I would set the picture up like this, and I just took pictures.
You took pictures of pictures?
I took pictures of
pictures.
My gosh. And then edited them. So I had to put them up like this, so
straight up.
Wouldn't get the glare from the light. And I tried to use some natural light. So this really took a lot to.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
that's another reason why it took 30 years, because it just getting the pictures ready was a lot of work.
That is.
So this was one of those epoxy stickers too, from 49 and Market. So I also used a lot of stash in this.
Stash is good.
This was a super old piece of chipboard cutout that I had in my stash. So I pulled that out. As I made and planned the album, I went through first and laid out what pictures I wanted on what page, and then I went back.
Kind of organized.
I did,
got organized.
and
Okay,
then
that's
I went
good to
back.
say.
Then I went back through and did my first layer of papers and put all those on. And then once I had the bases pretty much ready, that's when I went through and started each page individually and decorated them and added things like this and the background layering. This was from the die cut of Wedgwood, I think. This was one of the basic layering. This is one of those, and I just tore it in half.
And that's cool. That's what I think Diane was saying too, that you don't have to use the whole thing, or maybe it was the owner of 49 and Market, one of her classes, was talking about just cut them.
Yep. So this was also one of the pages that comes in the album. It's a pocket. And really I just covered the front, covered the back. And this was one of the laser pieces. And there was 2 of these mailboxes. And so I actually put them together to make like my own foam.
You made it like popped up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool idea.
And this was a rub-on. And so this is a postcard that I actually mailed back to my mom and dad.
Oh,
and
they saved it.
Yep,
wow.
I still had it. This was a menu from a restaurant that I had. This is actually the English, I think, version. Was it? No, this is the history of this restaurant that we went to. That it used to be an old...
So save all your memorabilia, that's for sure.
So I stuck that in there, and then we had a menu, which was like huge.
Yeah.
That he had gotten for me and given to me. And so I took a picture of the menu and made my own mini version of it.
Okay, well, there's another idea. If you have something really big, take pictures of it. And Darla went so far as to even put it together in a little book to make a menu. Oh my gosh.
And so then I have that stuck in my pocket as well.
That is amazing.
And then
they want you to have a class. They want you to come back. You're amazing.
Excellent. Again, this are just pictures. I originally started out thinking that this might have some journaling on it. I didn't end up needing to tell a story on this page, so I ended up gluing those down. But you could always make those as a pocket. I even pulled out old rub-ons, and they still worked great. I had like Rusty Pickle, and
how many people remember Rusty Pickle? That was that was a long time ago, and I love their stuff. And it was kind of vintage and older looking.
Yep. This was a Simple Stories, a very old sticker there. This was I think My Mind's Eye line. This here was in the 49 and Market, and it's actually one of those like slides. Mm-hmm. And so really I just used it more as like a mat rather than a slide. So
Darla, Lisa would like to know how long it took you to make your album.
I probably worked on it from starting the pictures and editing to finishing it at least 6 months. And, and I'm not working on it every day.
Right.
Yeah. So then I think it comes with these pocket pages as well. Mm-hmm. Although, and I bought some extra ones as well to go in the book because I wanted some of these different arrangements, and I didn't know if that's what was in there. So really I just, added rub-ons. These are some really old.
Did lots of embellishments. Mm-hmm. Like get out your stash.
Get your stash. Get your, add old with new. Because essentially I was really just inspired by the 49 and Market, and then I just dug through everything that I had that I thought matched.
That's what I've been doing. I went and do a book for a Hawaii trip. Mm-hmm. And I've just been collecting stuff. I haven't done a thing or printed any pictures.
Yep.
But I've been collecting stuff that I'll just get everything out when I'm ready to do it.
Like this is Old Maya Road.
That's okay. How many people remember Maya Road? That's another classic.
Yep. It's Simple Stories. This was one of the epoxy things from the 49 and Market. So this...
Oh, look at that cluster of flowers and butterfly. That's really beautiful.
This first layer was a rub-on, and then the rest of these, I popped up just some of these pieces here, but they're flat once they go down under here. Those were from the laser cuts.
Very cool.
And then this is popped up. And so then here I have a pocket.
Oh, there's a secret.
There is, and it actually, this one is kind of a secret. I mean, not really, but so Jan, who was the student that stayed with us, that he turned 18 a couple days after I arrived, and that's a pretty big deal in Germany. And so I might have not been feeling so well in that picture.
Oh, okay. Too much fun. I saw the word fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun, but they had a big garden party, and of course when I was there, I was not yet 21, but in Germany there is no legal drinking age, so I was legal.
So you were good
over there, yeah. The letter stickers, here's another tip, because this doesn't have a page protector on it, and sometimes some of these letters do not stick very well. And so what I do, so I like to use the liquid glues.
There's a couple people here that have been to Germany or lived in Germany and haven't done anything, and you are inspiring them.
Okay, excellent. And so I like to use the tacky glue with the fine liner, but you could also use the Nuvo as well. And so what I do is very technical.
I want to know how you do it.
Is I put a pool of glue on my hand.
Oh my gosh.
I use my tweezers, take the letter and dip the back of the letter and then glue it on. And since it dries clear, you can't really tell that.
Well, and you're so right about no page protector, and the stickers, they do come off or they get bumped. So that's a really good way to secure them.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure any of these that were not in a page protector were really going to stick. So I did use liquid glue on almost everything. Even if I used like the foam tape, I would put the glue on that as well. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So here's another tag with some journaling that I wanted to make sure that I remembered that that's me on the bridge.
Okay, there's Darla right there, that little dot, that little teal dot with a little head.
Yep. Again, old stash with new stash. So like these were 49 and Market. This is old My Mind's Eye.
So it's just good ideas on how to get out your stash and do layering.
Yep.
And putting things together. I think that's really nice.
Like most of these pages, this was just a full 6x8 from paper pad, the travel paper pad. Cool. I forgot to mention that. I think this one might have been like a cut out of a 12x12 from the Wedgwood, I think. But this was the travel, I think 12x12 or 6x8. This is one of the pages that comes in the album. It's a little flip.
The flip. Okay, so I love it.
Here's some more of that leftover chipboard that I cut off of earlier. And so you have this flip, and then of course I made another flip.
Of course, Darla. And she's got buttons
and these are,
in there and rub-ons. Very nice.
Rub-ons, the laser cuts.
I think everybody likes all your layering.
Thank you.
Giving us lots of good ideas. So if you're just joining us here at Memory Bound, Darla's came in today and she's sharing a dual album. I'm going to call it a dual album because she's got two albums from her time in Germany, and she used a lot of 49 and Market and a lot of her stash. when we've been reminiscing about Maya Road and my mind's eye and what was the pickle one again?
Rusty pickle.
Rusty pickle.
Do you remember Fufula? That one's going to come up here in a little bit too.
Fufula was from Omaha. She's taught at our store.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, there's even Fufula in here. So where they lived was called Lubeck, and so it's basically like an island. And so the dad chartered a 4-seater private plane for us, and we flew up over Lubeck and the surrounding area. And so the tags, I also combined in a lot of this from book 2, and at the time I had book 1. Book 3 wasn't out yet, but I did use a lot of papers from this as well. And I used a lot of these tags.
I forgot there was tags in there, Darla.
Yep.
So those Reminisce books from Elizabeth Craft Design they go with a lot of stuff like 49 and Market.
And then here is this tag. And you know how you get the thicker version and the thinner. And so I think I used both. So this one, I think I just glued 2 of the thinner ones together to make it more sturdy.
Good idea.
And just used it to tell about our plane ride. And of course, lots of twine as well. Where did the twine go? I have one of these full.
They're really nice. It's like a jute twine. It's nice and thin. Is that what you got on your tag here?
Yep. And I've had it for probably since you guys started selling the whole.
I have one too. I have
spool.
That one and the little bit darker natural one. Those are $19.99, and they have like 1 million feet on them. Let's see.
I've had it for years, and I've still only used
400 yards, so they do last a long time.
And I've still only used like half of it.
You can buy it by the foot also, or by the yard online, but it's nice to have your own, isn't it, Darla?
It is, yeah. Especially in, I think Teresa and others have shown that you can dye
with the
inks to make it match your projects. So, so these are just some of the pictures of the view from the plane. Again, this was like an old 12 by 12 paper that I had bought for, a long time ago to make this travel album. So I did use some of the old papers that I had purchased over the years throughout this, but not a lot of them. This page was from just the 6x8 paper pad. So I just put 2. Trying to think if I put 2 together or if this might actually just be the back of this paper. I also bought a 6x6 paper pad of I can't remember if it was like teal or blue or aqua, what it was, but I bought that as well and used some of those pages.
So you combine 6x6, 6x8, 12x12, all different sizes of papers.
Yep. And so here's another pocket. This, of course, I visited a few years after the wall came down, and so this is actually a picture of where the wall had previously been.
Wow.
Between East and West Germany.
Cool.
And then I also had some washi tape, so that's what some of this is as well. But then some of the paper already has it on, so this is actually printed on.
I know, that makes it go really well.
Yep. This one, just rub-ons. This was part of the laser cuts. The tickets really worked well as layering pieces, and those came in.
How they're all coming out of the top. It's a nice design.
And you could always make that as like a pocket too if you needed a space for journaling.
Pull out.
So since they were on an island, it actually has like a gate on the 2 ways that you could get onto the island of Lubeck where they lived, and so this was one of them that we went to visit. Of course, there's me out in front.
Well, it's nice just to add a large photo like that every once in a while.
It is, and this I think I ordered this print through the Becky Higgins Project Life that you can actually order 6x8 size photos.
Oh, that's good to know.
Through there. So they do have larger options as well. And I kind of ordered just like 4 or 5 just to test the quality of the printing.
It looks nice, gosh.
Again, I use even though this one isn't a page protector, I did do my secret glue.
Your secret glue on your hand.
I did.
That's good. I like it.
And then I think I don't know if I bought these size page protectors separate or if this came in the album.
It doesn't really tell you. It just says you get all the different, of each of the different ones.
So I think I bought a set of page protectors to use in this album for this size.
So if you're going on a trip or you've been on a trip, then this should be inspiring to get out, get your pictures and get some product, gather up, and get scrapping.
And so as I started kind of filling in some of these page protectors, I was starting, even though I bought a lot of paper, that I used a lot of them for the foundation pages. So again, I went to my stash and started looking through like my oranges and the pinks and stuff. And so this was like a really old Thanksgiving paper that I had, and you can't tell it's Thanksgiving.
No, you can't.
In some of these scripty words, it says like gather and things of that nature. But I did.
It's all good.
I just made sure I just cut it accordingly and went from there. And I think this was from a paper
it looks like
in
something
the Reminisce.
From the Reminisce pad.
Yep.
This page is really amazing, Darla.
And the book does come with these tabbed binders. And originally I had it kind of divided into 3 sections of... The first section was really just us visiting Lubeck, which is where they lived. The second part was going to be some of the day trips that we did. And then towards the end of my trip that we took a big trip around like to all the countries that surrounds Germany. So this was like the first, this is the end of just some of the local things that we went and did. So I didn't necessarily organize it chronologically of how we did everything because I honestly couldn't remember.
There's different ways to organize because you couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember.
Been a couple years, Darla.
It had been a few years.
And there's different ways to do it. And there's that twine again. So if you had a spool, you wouldn't worry about using up your twine.
Exactly. And so this is just kind of some remnants of, I've got tickets, I've got lots of labels. This was from a really old travel Bo Bunny line. And really this is kind of reddish, but this kind of pulled it to make it look more orange. It looks
perfect.
The rub-ons from 49 and Market.
I'm impressed that you remember where things come from, Darla.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Really
I think it's because
my
sister had an online store, and so I kind of just remembered from some of those things. But so like this was part of the rub-on too that isn't actually originally on this page. And an old Prima button, wood button.
Very, very special. Oh my gosh.
And so here's where we started having some of the day trips, and we went to a local farm, and so then I started using the rub-ons just to say where we were at. This was a 49 and Market. This was a rub-on from 49 and Market, and these were the laser cuts from the pack. You will start to see some of these cards as well, and I don't even know where I got them, but it was a Prima product, and they were like
they used to have
4x6 cards, and I got it free somewhere. That like if you placed an order, I'm sure it was probably here, maybe, I don't know.
You could probably get a paper like that and cut it up too.
And so the back was like a farm theme.
Oh, that's perfect.
But the back side, the B side, had these scripty things. And so I'm like, I'm going to use some of those up. So I use a lot of those as layering as well.
So did you run out of stuff, Darla? Are you all out of stash now?
Oh, I'm not out of stash, but I did have to start kind of pulling in some other products because I did start to, either things started looking the same or I just needed some different kind of layering. All of this, I think, was $49 in Market.
Lisa says there's a Schleswig. Did I pronounce that right?
Schleswig.
Iowa. There's a town like that called that in Iowa. Wow.
Again, more farm photos.
Very cute.
Rub on.
I like all the different sizes of pages. I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it adds interest when you have different sizes.
It does.
In a mini album. Little tab, old rub on. And I don't know if you've seen like the sequins, but those were part of the laser die cuts that came with one of the sets. Some old simple stories, letters that used to come
Usually
on
their sticker sheets.
On their sticker sheet. One tip on using any like tile things that I wanted to make sure that they were straight. So I would just cut a little strip of paper that's like half of that, and I stick them on there, and then I just glue that to the.
Okay, there's another great tip. Yeah, good idea.
I did the same thing with that, and I didn't have all the letters, so I just kind of combined.
Mixed them up.
Yeah.
I like it, Darla. It looks really good.
And this was another pocket page that I think I added, that I purchased as extra. And so here I had another story, and this story doesn't necessarily have anything to do with where we were at, that I added stories throughout here of just funny things. So this one's about when I got off the plane and driving on the Autobahn in Germany.
Oh, sure.
And I was just like, whoa, this is scary.
Darla, Cheryl has a question. Oh, no. Jean has a question. She wants to know how you punched your holes for the smaller papers that you put in the book.
I just used a regular hole punch. So I didn't have a machine or anything. I just would use one of the pages that came in the book. So like this came in the book, and I would just line it up and use a hole punch.
Just use a hole punch.
Yep.
Okay. That I think we can all do.
You can, yeah.
That's doable.
And here's the pocket that comes in it. So I just kind of have some information that I had on a couple of the places that we visited.
Very cool. Okay,
so that's
guys,
the end of volume one.
Volume 1. So if you're joining us, Darla's going to get out her second book, and she did use the 49 and Market Foundation's Essential Album, and a lot of 49 and Market papers and things, and some of the Reminisce paper pack, which I have both of those. I have not cut into them yet, Darla. I'm having a little trouble with that. So
use your stuff.
I know,
there's
you
always
do
more.
need to.
So here's the beginning of volume 2, and really just the layering, more of the rub-ons. So I mentioned the fufula earlier, that I had this 2 rub-ons, and they were huge, and I think they were meant to be like journal spots that you could rub on, and then it had these dotted lines on the inside of it.
Then. Oh my gosh.
And it had these dotted lines on the inside of it, of the rub-on image, and they were rub-ons as well that you could use so your writing was straight. And so I just cut those out and used them as decoration.
Fufula was really ahead of her time. She was from Omaha. She taught at Memory Bound maybe a couple times, and just had amazing ideas.
So this was one of the base pages that came in the book, and then just more layering of different from the 49 and Market.
We should all be getting ideas of layering.
And then I took a class here at Memory Bound a long time ago with mixed media, and one of the packs that we got in our class was like ephemera that you could paint, that I had.
Oh, sure.
And these flowers were in that pack. I don't think this.
Darla, you're going to love this. Cheryl wants us to call her boss and tell them she's sick, and so she can go home and scrapbook. So evidently Cheryl's watching at work.
Oh.
Cheryl, we're so happy that you're inspired. I think a lot of us are sitting here thinking,
Yeah.
Get my pictures ready.
Yep. So here's another pocket. Tim Holtz tag, folded in half. I think I cut off one of the tops of the tags over there from the Reminisce book.
Oh, sure.
Just put my journaling there. This picture cracks me up that I was like, we were going to the opera, and I was like, why do you want me to stand by this dumpster in my dress? And really, he wanted this car, and they used to make like these plastic cars during the war, and he wanted a picture of me by the car.
And the dumpster got in the way.
Yeah. Let's see, more rub-ons, more layering.
I recognize that.
Yeah, this was part of that Bo Bunny travel line. Another tip because my book was getting so bulky, another thing that I tried to do is when I have chipboard, even if it's a sticker, I would peel off all the layers of the chipboard.
Oh, you did?
And just make it the top,
very top. A flatter
yeah.
chipboard? Oh my gosh.
So don't be afraid to peel off the back layers.
I would not have known that, Darla. That's great.
Sometimes I'll do it even if I don't know if I'm going to use that particular chipboard sticker, so I can just move it around and have it not stick to my paper as well. This one I made a pocket from a 6x8 piece of paper. So I have these inside with
pictures and journaling. I'm glad that you added the journaling. That's really good. So many people don't do the journaling, so I'm glad to see it.
And then this was a tag from the Reminisce book. Put in there. And then this was one of those 6x8 or 4x6 cards from Prima that I had. Of course, old travel-themed letter stickers. Again, I took and this one you could tell these were chipboard, and I just peeled the very top layer off so they're
a little bit thinner.
Yep.
Because your book is pretty thick.
It is, yeah.
As it is, even after doing all of that.
So I loved the architecture and the doors that you just see on the buildings in Europe, and so I wanted to do a special section about all the doors that we saw. And so that's kind of what this is. This is one of the pages that comes in the book as well, the flap. And so just me in front of a lot of church doors and just different architecture.
I think that's neat that you included something like that really interested you, whether it was doors or it could have been, I don't know, windows or sidewalks or flowers or special trees or something.
And so here's one of those fufula things that I cut apart. And even the little squigglies that were around it, I just put up here with the flowers because I thought it kind of looked like vines.
It does. It looks good. I like it.
And, this was the original rub-on that had the lines inside of it, and so I cut it in half to widen it.
Okay, there's another super trick. If your piece isn't big enough and you're putting something over it, just cut it in half.
The other thing I was interested in was the lions all over, because I had just joined a sorority and our mascot was lions, and so I talk about that.
So you guys can all tell this was just a couple years ago, right, Darla?
Yeah, just a few. Rub-ons, just lots of layering. Here's another one of those dividing pages. More lines. The washi tape. And more of those
good use
rub-on.
Of washi tape.
Yep. And those rub-ons, and then just kind of decorated the tab. And then now we're getting into the section where we took a trip basically around to all the countries that surround Germany.
Oh.
And of course this was still in Germany. I think this picture was actually a postcard.
But you know
but
what,
I took
Darla?
a picture of the postcard.
But really, I always buy postcards when we travel because they're usually really good photos.
Exactly. So I think this was from that pack that I got in that class. And then this was the 49 in Market. Use this as a mat. Another pocket page. This one I decided to make a tag.
Oh, so you did it in a pocket page.
Yep.
That's neat. That's really
Come out
cool.
the top, and then
when it opens.
I couldn't fit my journaling all in one of what I was wanting to put in there, so I just made it bigger and then folded it in half. So just make it work.
I've seen lots of techniques today. I think everyone will agree that if I wasn't videotaping, I'd be taking some notes.
One other thing I like to do with the pocket pages is, I didn't, but I sometimes I like to glue these back to back so they don't slip around.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, because sometimes I'll put like a different paper in each one,
and then you might see the back side, which isn't what you want to use at all if it moves, moves around.
Janice wants to know if you climbed all the steps to the bell tower in Cologne.
We did not. We were actually there on a Sunday, and I think it was a holiday. And
you have to go back.
I definitely want to go back.
This probably really makes you want to go back, doesn't it?
Totally.
Doing this project.
It was fun. Just kind of reliving everything.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of what scrapbooking is reliving your memories.
We went through Bonn, which is where Beethoven, I don't know if I think he was born there. I don't know what that says, but this was a page that I created, and originally this went all the way over here, and then when I went to put it in the book, I was like, oh, well, that's not going to work because I have my holes there, and if I punch holes, it won't open.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about your flap that you realized you had to trim it down.
Yep. So
live and learn, right?
Yep, exactly. So I think this was a full 12 by 12 page.
And there she trimmed right there for the flap.
Yep. And so really I just scored it, made it into a flap.
Looks good.
And of course,
I love all your pull-out tags. I think that's really neat.
And this, I don't even know how this survived so many years, but of course I was into lions, and I ended up using this for my journaling for here. But Hans bought me it was like a 6-pack of chocolates, and the chocolates were actually somehow held by this lion in the box.
Oh my gosh.
And so I have 2 of these. I think you saw the other one in the pocket of this book. But it had these little flaps as well, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to leave that there and use it to hold my journaling.
I think it's cool. It looks really good, and it's meaningful.
Yeah, yep. Another flap.
Okay.
These were also postcards.
Okay, you got to open that one again. Okay, so it opens up. It's like a triple.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that, Darla. I like that.
And then, of course, there's more on both sides.
Very cool.
And that was on a 6x6 foundation page, and rub-ons all around there. Then we went into Switzerland. And now you're starting to see me pull in some other stuff. This was a star I had from somewhere, and so I kind of went through. I'm like, okay, let's pull in some more craft. Pretty much anything that was craft, teal, pink, navy.
Well, those are good colors, and it all looks really great.
And this was actually an old Simple Story sticker, and it had like one of those big wheeled bikes on it, and I had already used like half of it, so it was already a sticker that was cut in half, and I kind of liked the fact that you could see some of the texture of this was the wheel from the bike, but you can't tell that it's not, that it's just little bits that add some interest to it. And, well, I did pop this up that with some
little
foam
slide.
tape. Yep. Now we're in Austria, and these were just old chipboard letters that I had in my stash. And both of these pages were just made from
just
the 6x8.
Oh, the 6x8 tablet. Okay.
Yep.
Well, and the 49 in market paper is really heavy.
It is.
So it does, being a page like that, it works out super well.
Exactly. So this was actually...
Oh my gosh, that's so clever.
This was from the 6x8 pad, and it had 2 4x6s on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of cutting it apart, I just scored it and made it a page.
I love that. Darla, you've shown us so many different techniques that everybody's soaking it all in.
And this is another 6x8 page. Just pictures, layers, rub-ons. This tag I cut from one of the Reminisce pages. I don't know if it was in this book. But it was a similar page like this. And it had several different tags on it like this, and so this blue one, I just found one that was whole, cut it out,
put your twine on it,
put my twine, and just made some layers, the rub-ons, and of course that I put this page together before I had punched the holes, and so I noticed that my ticket was going to go over, so I just ended up instead of punching a hole through it, I folded it over.
That worked out well.
And then
very well.
This came in the album, so this must be like the major flip.
That could be the major.
I can't remember what they call
that. The open craft flip flop enclosure.
Yep.
The triple craft pocket pages. Maybe that's the flip flop. I'm not sure.
Yep. So this one's got several flips on it. So again, this is from my stash. It was in 2 old Making Memories. That's another old one that doesn't exist anymore. This page, I was like, what am I going to do with this page? And so I just kind of did some
little decorations
and then I did some journaling. And so this is the first page. And I decided I had a lot of pictures from... where were we? Munich.
Oh my, look at that. Oh, that's the triple flip.
Yes. So I decided to do all my pictures from Munich within this flap.
So Darla's using, we had a question, she's using a lot of papers from 49 and Market and from the Reminisce tablet and then from her stash. Things that she had that were kind of the same colors and...
So then this was the Glockenspiel. So I had different pictures of, and what it's basically, we have a Glockenspiel down in Pella.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, the little, it's just off the square.
I know more about the bakery than that.
Well, I do too. So Munich is where the famous Hofbrauhaus is. And so we went and had some beers. And I had some beers there.
A big beer.
Yes, they are
They're
big.
large.
Yes.
And there's one of your 6x8 photos. I like those.
Yeah, that was the other
nice.
6x8. And of course there's me and Carola walking in front of the Glockenspiel.
And did you use magnets on this one?
I did not.
Okay, so there's no magnets on this one. And the fold out, what she's showing us now came in the album. So that comes in these 49 and Market Foundation Essential Binders. And there's the Jagged Flip Folio. 49 and Market's got a lot of creative things. You could go with even a plainer album like this one, and then you can add the flips and pockets and things like that they have. Waterfalls.
And so
I love all the tags. That's kind of a theme, really.
I did, and it's kind of an easy it's an easy go-to, I think, for when you don't have specific ephemera.
Yeah, I like it because you can do a lot on it. Journal on them, put pictures on them, embellish them, layer.
Yep.
It's really nice.
Yep, so just some different things added to the tags. And I tied the twine in different ways that I would either... and the holes were big enough that I felt like I needed like a double layer.
Right, yeah.
When I used just one,
twine.
It seemed kind of insignificant in comparison to the tag. So I did end up using 2 on all of them, but I would tie it this way and bows a couple different ways. So this was a castle that we stayed at, that this is my view from the room, and so nice. I included that journaling on these little tags back here, just talking about the castle. And so this is a picture from down below, so this is where we stayed.
Very cool. Well, I think a lot of us are taking away the tag idea.
Oh, yes.
I am, I know.
Again, another tag. And this one I had this with a little tag, and so I tied it through the bow so it would kind of dangle.
Nice.
Again, this was a postcard. This was a postcard. I had some pictures. They just weren't... It was kind of gloomy that day that we were there.
Postcards are perfect.
This was I believe this was a 6x8 piece that I made my own flip-flap, I guess.
Yep.
Just scored it. And I guess one thing to think of is if you're going to make a flap like this, I didn't ink where I had folded it because I wanted it to look more like a
full
page versus having this division down the middle.
Darla, you're so good at sharing these little things and explaining them. I really love it.
And again, I used my glue dipping technique for...
we have a question whether the jute is acid-free and lignin-free, and honestly, I can't tell you. It's I thought it might tell us the fiber, like if it's cotton or whatever, but it is 100% jute. So sorry about that. I can't tell you. That's kind of a decision you make.
Yeah, I figured this is just for me. If it lasts me till the end of my days, then that'll be good enough.
I think your daughter will enjoy looking
well,
at
I
this
hope
when
so.
She's
But
when she's in college and stuff.
So another little tag with journaling that this was the Rhine River, which is known for its wine, and so these were grapes being grown on the side of the hillside. Here's another tab. And so at the time that we were there, it was Czechoslovakia at that time and not Czech Republic. And so I decided to use what it was at the time that I had visited.
That's what I would do too, yeah. Okay, here's a question. Do you reinforce the scored page folds at all?
I didn't. It probably depends on your weight of paper. Like you said earlier that the 49 Market papers are really heavy paper, and so I did make sure to be careful not to press too hard and push through where it cracks.
Right, when you're scoring, sure.
And I used Katie's technique of making sure that I fold over the hump. So I did try and use some of those things to make sure that it won't break off. But you could probably put like washi tape or something on there too.
Washi tape would work really well.
Well,
I want you to know that Steve is very inspired, and he's going to start his Italy trip this
Excellent.
weekend. So I'm sure, Steve, you got lots of good ideas.
Oh, definitely. Today. So just another flap and more pictures. And so now we're in Dresden, and another flap. And so when we were there, of course, the wall had just come down just a couple of years prior to my visit. So a lot of things in what had previously been East Germany looked like the day that they had been bombed during the war.
Isn't
that they
crazy?
had not started any kind of restoration at all. So that's what some of these pictures are. Then we got to Berlin. This was a 6x8 page, just more layering. Again, I took the chipboard layers off so it was thinner. Here I talked about, so this is me in front of Checkpoint Charlie, which was a very prominent place, a specific location along the Berlin Wall. So I kind of talked about that. And then, you know, I'd bought this like years ago, like this
Is that magic
wire.
mesh?
I don't know if it's magic. Mesh? I don't think it's actually metal.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I was thinking, you know, how...
That's kind of appropriate for
you
that
know,
page,
I don't know.
isn't it?
just had it, and it was just like a little strip
and
of
it's
something.
the perfect size. Yeah, fits great.
Let's see, more layering down in there. So then, when the wall came down, Hans actually got me and sent me a piece of the wall. So this was inside of the Berlin Wall, and I have like a letter of authenticity. And so you know, I obviously couldn't include that in my book, but I wanted to, so I took a picture of it. So that was a Janet tip from her history books. And then this is a picture of where the wall was.
Oh
and so then I just added a bunch of tickets and rub-ons and kind of detailed about what that was. This was just some pictures around Berlin, and again, you could hardly tell that I was there, so I decided to put a arrow there to show that there I am here.
There's Darla right there.
This was a church in Berlin, and so this, I think this is still the case, but you can see that the top of the spire is gone, and they leave it there in memorial to not forget what had happened. And so there's a new part of the church that they actually use as a church, and then they leave this old section as a memorial of what had happened, so that's why they call it Memorial Church.
I like how you did the little kind of folder piece on the page. It's nice.
And I think this was a paper from one of the Reminisce books, and it had something there that it didn't fit, so I just covered it with tags.
Well, there's another tip. If something doesn't, maybe it had could have had a swimming pool there, or somebody in a bikini, and you could just cover it up.
A bug, or something that just didn't go with the theme. And so this was another page that comes with the album. And so this is a picture of the ceiling in the church. And get a closer look of the spire. And now we get into now I'm just kind of talking about the family and how Jan became a part of our family when he came to stay with us. So this is him back in high school. He became a huge Bulls fan while he was here.
That's funny.
And so I found that picture of him in his coat. And so I just kind of talked about that. And these are tags that I cut out of the Reminisce book as well.
I forgot it had tags till I saw your project, Darla. That's pretty cool.
And so his mom and grandma came to visit us, so I included a picture of them as well. And they came for Easter, and then his dad came to visit us at Christmas. So these were just some stories that I wanted to tell that I didn't necessarily have. Pictures that I had a bike story. A lot of times that we would go out, and if you're planning on partaking in any kind of beverages, they do not drive if they've had anything to drink. So we took bikes everywhere.
That sounds fun.
And so I had some funny bike stories to include. And of course, this is the dad, Hans, and Carola, and of course, Jan, and their dog, Filou.
Even the dog has a German
Even
name.
the dog, yep. And so, my mom had made a quilt for me to take over as a gift to Carola, and so it was in Americana colors. This is the best picture that I could find. It just happened to be sitting on the couch in the background of one of the pictures I had taken.
But you want it because you want to remember
I did, yeah. And then, so the first time I ever flew was going to Germany and for this trip. And I flew by myself. And so my mom was nervous, and so she worked on this quilt right here while I was flying. And so I took a picture of that quilt to include. Of course, this is Jan and me at prom. So he got to experience, some of the American traditions. And then here's just pictures of Christmas and I think Easter while his family was visiting. And of course, us at graduation. He got to go through graduation as well. And so I just kind of
got your journaling.
I got my journaling and stories, and then just included the family pictures of them before the day I left to go home. And of course, and me in the backyard with the roses that I liked, and that was right outside my room. And one of the gifts that Hans bought while he visited over Christmas in the U.S. was these, remember the big wooden butterflies that were on everybody's houses, that he thought that was so cool. And so I took a picture of it on their house, and these butterflies from the die cut set just reminded me of those. So I was like, perfect. I know that's exactly what I'm going to use on that. And I don't have anything in this pocket.
You got an empty pocket. You got room for more.
I do.
So we have a couple questions about 49 to Market. The albums, right now they do not make bigger albums. They make just the 6x8s, and they do make the portrait one like this, and this also comes in landscape. And then I can't remember who it was, joined us a little late, and Darla said she worked on her albums about 6 months. And they want to know if you had a picture of Jan now.
I do not.
Keep in contact with him.
I do. He actually, funny enough, this morning when I got up, I was checking Facebook, and I had a memory from 2 years ago on Facebook. And I haven't talked to him for probably a year or two, but as his career evolved and children and marriage, that he still contacts my mom. And so when he had his first baby, he called Mom, and he's like, "You're a grandma,"
and that's so sweet.
So it was just really cute that he does let us know big events in his life, and
love that.
Sends pictures once in a while and checks in with Mom. So
he does keep in contact.
We do.
So that's pretty cool. You can tell you guys had a good relationship, considering that they've had you come over and visit, and they visited here.
Yep.
And let's see, there's lots of thank yous, Darla. Everybody just really loved this. And there was one question way back about your scrapbook layout.
All right.
They wondered how you put them in your albums.
They fit just fine. So I use the We Are Memory Keepers.
We Are Memory Keepers,
the
12x12s.
Those binders, and they fit.
Just put them down in the pockets.
So some of these that are a little more dimensional, I just try and make sure if I know they're going to be a little dimensional, just cut them down slightly so the page doesn't
bow.
Bow. That's a good word for it. Yeah,
that's
but I mean, you really can't tell. Like this one's still pretty flat for having the foam, whereas some of these others that these actually are not too,
they're not as thick as you think.
This one is probably
your chunkiest.
And it'll go in just fine. It'll just, that album that this one goes into just won't have as many pages in it as
Right. It just, it'll fill it up a little faster.
Yep.
Well, everybody says, thank you, Darla. Come back.
Welcome.
Love your ideas. Gets the mind working. Lots of people are inspired and they're going to go work on their albums this weekend.
Excellent. That's why I'm going to go scrapbook, go home. I took the day off, so.
Oh, she's got the day off. Celebrating her birthday early.
Yes. Yep, a week early.
A week early, but you're celebrating here with us. And Darla, seriously, thank you so much and for volunteering to come in.
You're welcome.
I think everybody absolutely loved your albums and your pages. And hopefully you'll come back.
Oh, I will.
Get some more projects done and come on back. We'd love to see it. Love it.
Slow but sure, I get more projects done.
So, and before we go today, we wanted to show you, we've got a lot of stuff. We've been cleaning house, and we have a lot of stuff that we've been putting on sale. We've got a big bargain area that I'll take you to, and I'll show it. I'll give you a little tour of it before we go. It's Friday, TGIF. We'll say thank goodness it's on sale. This is what the gals working here spent a lot of time on yesterday, was marking things down. So we have a lot of 50% off merchandise, including all of this gloss spray from Dina Wakely. And we thought we would kind of show. Oh, Gloria's got something too. We're miking up. Here, Glory.
I just brought this in today to show you how you can do backgrounds with the iZink
Oh.
and
Is that a
stencils.
stencil?
And this is from the Salutations birthday line.
Salutations cut apart, and look at that glitter. And didn't we just get in a circle? Or we have one coming, a circle stencil, I think. So,
I think we got it in.
did it come in?
So I just brought that in to show you. So
Gloria, thank you. We love it. You had a card that Katie showed the other day, too, that was her
using her heart
stamp.
Yeah.
Hugs enclosed stamp.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
lost my microphone, so it might sound. Gloria, awesome. And a lot of that stuff is on sale, and Diane's here, and she's going to help me kind of show everybody what we have on sale. And it is online. Most of it's online.
Yes.
If you go to shopping and go to clearance.
Go to clearance.
So let's see. I buzzed through the gloss spray.
Okay. And then this is kind of a hodgepodge. Some of the Cosmic Shimmer.
Oh, and
the sprays.
misters.
So there's just a few colors left there. And then the iZink Ice, the Diamond.
Which is what Gloria was using, was the diamond for her sparkles. And now you can get it and try it, and it's half off, so that's even better.
And then the texture, which is kind of fun.
We've got the beads and the sand and the crackled.
And this is the Effect Glaze. And then we have the Sizzix 3D adhesive.
And Delusion spray.
Some of the Delusion spray, the Pink Flamingo, and the Island Parrot spray.
Love it. And lots of little odds and ends, some
And
glitters.
then we have some Prima. No, is this Prima?
I think that's Prima, yeah.
Yes, some Prima rubs.
We've got
Some of the
baked textures.
and all the pins that we
we got a
showed
really-
yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the enamel
Pins.
collectible enamel pins from Distress, Tim Holtz.
And then we
Oh,
have
yeah,
some
get-
sets down here.
And Gloria really loved those sets. Diane's getting the sets out.
Ugh,
So you can
Not
try
in a good
multiple
place.
colors. Yeah, if you want to buy them, sorry, we can't get them out
can't
off
get 'em
the
out,
shelf.
but- yeah.
But it's a nice way to try lots of different colors of the iZinks. And they work well with stencils. You can put them on with your finger.
If you need red paint, we got red paint, Christmas red, big bottles.
And of course, the Distress Sparkle sets are here, and they're on sale, and also the Distress Texture set.
So all of this is on sale.
It's a good mixed media day. And then we have some stamps and dies around the corner here that we want to show you. And UPS just pulled up, and so did FedEx, and that's why we're having a sale. So
We need room.
These things are also in the same category, and their discounts vary. What does that say, Diane?
Welcome.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
That'd be cool for a new home or a
Yeah.
baby. This is a stencil, I think, that Dawn showed that's got a stencil and a die, and I actually got myself one of these yesterday.
Oh yeah, cool. Lots of Christmas. This is a good one.
It's
This
got
is
lots of little
LDRS.
pieces.
It's got lots of fun pieces to it.
And
Pink
these-
Fresh.
These are 30% and more. And then we should show the tape. And do we have the?
This is the Blossoms and Berry washi tape. That's half off. It's really pretty. I think that might be the only style we have left.
What I wondered is if we have the Blossom and Berry stamp or die.
Or die.
And it might be gone. That's the painted peony.
Joy.
Here it is. So we do have, if you want to
Oh.
have it all, like sometimes I like to, the tape matches. Here's the stamp set. And then there is a die, and the die works for the stamp and the washi tape. So if you wanted to get a set of that, this would be a great time.
And it's called Blossom and Berries.
Blossom and Berry.
Okay.
So we have been cleaning house, everybody, making room because there's so many new things coming in, including 2 big collections from 49 and Market.
Yeah, that's really
which is what
exciting.
Darla was using,
Yes.
a previous collection.
Love 49 and Market.
So thank you for sticking with us today, and a big thank you to Darla.
Yeah, it was
I think
awesome.
she inspired a lot of people
Her
today.
layouts
Oh my gosh.
were phenomenal.
And we love having scrapbooking stuff
Yes.
on demos, so that was really amazing. We're here till 4 today, and we'll be back over the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, so stop in or give us a call and have a crafty weekend.
Bye.